So I got a treat for you guys today. So we podcasted today with our buddy Ben Pakulski. We were talking about intra-set stretching in the episode, and something extremely fascinating for me, because I remember reading about something similar to this that was kind of BS. And the way he explains it, and he broke down the science to Sal and I and Justin today, was incredible. And so I had to have him come share that, because he has a program online that he created around this whole concept. And so I wanted to teach it to you guys. So we're over here with Melissa right now, and he's gonna show you guys how to do intra-set stretching for your chest.
All right, so Melissa wants to get huge pecs. She's reached a plateau in her training, but her execution is excellent. So what are we gonna do? First we're gonna make sure her setup is on point, and then we're gonna lock her in place and put her to work. So setting up for an incline press, if you come closer here, Doug, you can see exactly what's going on. So because she's so lean, you can actually see the insertion of her muscle. So if you follow that line, that pec line up, her muscle is gonna insert right in about there. And then her origin is gonna be all along the sternum here. So she's got multiple origins, one common insertion. So all we're thinking about doing, if I wanna train this upper pec, I wanna bring this insertion across to the upper clavicular portion of the pec fibers. So I wanna try to bring this point close to here. Can you just do that with that arm, Melissa? Try to bring those 2 points close together. Good, do you see what that looks like? She's bringing it across the body. So now I want everybody to pay attention to what's happening at her upper arm. Look at that, do that one more time. Good, so notice how the upper arm is traveling in this direction. So most people when they're pressing, they're thinking about up. I want you guys to not think about up, especially you, Melissa. I want you to think about across the body. So pin those shoulders back against the bench. Never does it come up. We're thinking about bringing it across. So there's a direct line between there and there, right? So if I bring the shoulder forward, what happens? Those two things don't get closer together. In actuality, they get further apart. So all we do in exercise is we shorten muscles. That's all we do. So let's bring that insertion closer to the origin. Come push it in. Excellent. So that's what her form's going to look like. And we're not going to come quite so far. So where my wrist, my elbow, and my shoulder are stacked, I want you to stop just about there. So you're going to finish with a straight arm, but slightly outside of your shoulder, because as soon as we're stacked, no more resistance, right? The joints are stacked, so you stop just outside of that stacked position. So let's go ahead and grab the weights and we'll get to work on that. So Melissa's gonna knock out 8 perfect repetitions, no cheating, 100% focus on contraction. I don't care where your hands go, it doesn't affect your pecs. Shoulders back, bring that across your body. Good, 1, down. Good, try not to stack the elbows. 2, down. Shoulders stay back. 3, good. 4, good. 5. Okay, so we don't punish Melissa too much today. We're gonna do one more rep, 6. Good, now we're gonna come down to the bottom, and I want you to get a maximum stretch. So intra-set stretching looks like this. So Melissa's gonna try to take her elbows down to her sides, kind of as far as she can. Good, and now all I wanna do, you guys will see her hands are directly over her elbows. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take them about 1 inch outside of her elbows. Controlled, really slow, now hold it right there. Good, so by taking your hands outside of your elbows, you've decreased the distance from the axis, so you've decreased the distance from the shoulders, and increased the amount of tension or torque around that pec, around that shoulder joint. Feel the stretch? Good, so we're trying to look for about somewhere between 6 and 8 perceived stretch out of 10. I don't want it to be a 10 out of 10, but I want it to be a really good amount of stretch.
How long are you having her hold that for, Ben?
Good, so beginners are gonna be about 20 seconds. More advanced people can go as long as 30. So that's probably been around 15, 20 seconds. Normally we would time it, I'd count it in my head, and then go ahead, sit up, and let's grab the 15s right away, and we're gonna go right into it. Good, so right into the press. Let's just knock out 6. So for time reasons, we're doing 6. Normally I suggest a little bit more. So what is this doing physiologically? We're actually gonna create a substantial amount of muscular damage in the muscle, which is going to cause satellite cells to rush to that muscle to initiate the recovery response. And satellite cells have been shown to be correlated with hyperplasia, which is the addition of new muscle cells. This is something I actually had studied. Let's go back into the stretch, back into the stretch, back into the stretch. This is something I had studied at the University of Tampa, and the results we saw were just tremendous. So notice, see this, Doug? Her natural tendency is to internally rotate, so she wants to rotate her hands down. I'm actually going to just make her life a little bit more awesome and rotate it externally a little bit. Hold that right there. Shoulders pinned back. So this bench may be a little bit too wide for Melissa, which actually may be a limitation for some of you guys. So the most ideal scenario is if we had maybe a roller or a half roller under her back to make sure that her body could actually move freely.
And that would actually naturally kind of open them up really nice too.
So she's a very small person and this is a really wide bench. Okay, put that back. Let's go to the 10s.
You're gonna love him after this, right? I'm sore watching you do this right now. That's right, this is what we did in our workout today.
Good. So now, as you keep doing that, just because the weight is light doesn't mean the contractions get less intense. It actually gets harder. So think about squeezing. I think her pecs are getting bigger already. Literally pumped up. Stone face, Melissa. I'm not gonna show you how hard it is. Keep those shoulders back. Good, and drive across the body. Yep. Good. Now stretch again. So come down. So the easiest way to find that position is come down to where you were pressing. Get comfortable, and then take your hands an inch outside of the elbows. Yep. And that way you're in control of the stretch. You're not falling into the stretch. You're always in control of it. It's always a very comfortable position where you can easily come out of it.
And each one of these holds would be about the same time.
About 20 seconds, yeah. Okay. And we always want to finish on a contraction. That's an important thing. So go ahead and press it up again, Melissa. Excellent, that's it. So normally we do 4 drops. That's great. Yeah, that's it. So anybody who has never done that before, it's extremely challenging and it's going to be very uncomfortable. And you want to challenge that stretch. You really want to make sure that it is getting uncomfortable, you're getting a lot of burn. How did that feel for you? Were you getting a pump? Are you getting a burn? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So certain exercises are worse than others. It's important to note you actually cannot do this for every exercise, or you shouldn't do this for every exercise. So if you don't know how to do it, I explain it all in the program, and we're going to go through every body part for you guys on the Mind Pump YouTube. Now,
I know Doug is going to put a link to go directly to the program for those people that are interested in the entire program. But if I didn't have the program, how long would you recommend someone putting this into their routine?
So I usually suggest a maximum of 6 weeks, 3 times a year, because it is going to create a tremendous amount of muscle damage. So as I said when we started the video, it's massively important that your execution is near perfect. You've got execution mastery, and your recovery capability is adequate, right? Because that's going to inflict a lot of muscle damage, a lot of tension. So you got to make sure your protein is adequate and your recovery is on point. So if you're doing normal style training now, whatever that looks like for you, and you're still getting really sore, this isn't the right protocol for you. This is for people looking to really step up their game and really intensify workouts that maybe become stagnant.
I'm glad you said that, because I feel like a lot of YouTubers and people out there, they put out like a great piece of information. I mean, I think this is a solid tip and tool, but then someone sees that and they think every workout going forward now it gets put in there.
So the way we progress it to explain to you guys is week 1 will be 1 set, week 2 will be 2 sets, and we can progress that way. It's really, really simple. In the program, it's a little more complex than that because I'm strategically varying the stimulus of the workouts, which I explain again in there as well. But for you guys just want to try it out, just be very progressive with the stimulus. You know, first workout is literally 1 set like that.
Awesome. Listen, if you guys like that video, make sure you guys like it, share, subscribe to Mind Pump. You guys check everything out, mindpumpmedia.com. You can also get that program up in the link, top right-hand corner.